All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a piece of information that I wish I had when I joined the military, because it would put me in a completely different trajectory in terms of health, wealth, love, and happiness, right? Not everybody in the military understands this. 99% of the people do not understand this. Nobody in the military will explain this to you. So the benefit of you watching this video is when you can understand this and harness it like I have, right? It will completely revolutionize your life, right? For example, this year, it took me 5 years to go from $200 to $130,000, $140,000, right? And this year alone, I made six figures in income, right? Not too long ago, I was able to calculate it all. I made six figures, right? While being in the military, running a business, investing, I was able to make six figures, right? So I'm going to be explaining this to you, and it's going to give you tremendous amount of value, okay? And so when you are in the military, right, just think about it. Even before you decide to join the military, when you are going through, the delayed entry program, the DEP, the MEP, right? Or even talking to your recruiter for the first time, it's super stressful, right? It's nerve-wracking, right? When you talk to your recruiter for the first time, you see them in their uniform and you feel like, man, I don't want to waste these guys' time, and I feel a little bit nervous. And when you start going through this process and you become in the delayed entry program and you sign that contract, I get it all the time in my YouTube comment sections, right? People saying like, oh, can I get out of debt? I signed a 4-year contract, 5-year contract, 6-year contract. I feel like I just signed a big chunk of my life away. Like 6 years, it's a long time, right? It's a long time, but it's also short, right? So a lot of people begin, right, getting outside of their comfort zone very early on, right? And when you are in the military, it even amplifies, right? When you go to boot camp, right, and you start becoming militarized, some of the lingo, some of the verbiage, right, respecting the chain of command, right? When you start having to respect the chain of command, your RPOC, AROC, people who are basically either the same age as you, younger than you, older than you, or the same rank as you, whatever the case may be, you start having to respect the chain of command. And when you get to A school, right, you're learning a completely different, trade, right? Whether you signed up for LS, AO, nuke, whatever the case may be, you are learning something completely different than you've ever imagined. Like, you didn't think you would be in the military at this time, right? Or learning this while in the military, right? And you might be like, man, my recruiter freaking lied to me. My recruiter told me this, my recruiter told me that, but it's nothing like it. Whatever the case may be, right? You start to get outside of your comfort zone, and you ultimately go to the fleets, right? Some people get lucky enough, right? And go to somewhere very comfortable on a short command for 5 years, or a ship for 5 years for the first time, right? It depends. It's all based on luck. There's no choose your rate, choose your fate. It's all based on luck. And when you get to the fleet, right? For example, for me, I was super stressed. If you see my older YouTube videos, I was not happy, right? I was in a ship that was at its half-life cycle, the USS Abraham Lincoln. After 25 years, they go through a gutting process. They take everything out, put brand new stuff in. I was in a shipyard environment. I was a shipyard sailor, right? I was a shipyard sailor. I had to clean poop. I had to clean urine every single day, because there's contractors that just kind of pee in a bottle, throw it somewhere because there's no bathrooms that's working. People poop everywhere. Like, there's a lot of things, ridiculous things. Toilets, and I have a lot of videos where I clean toilets because nobody else wanted to clean toilets because everybody else was lazy, or they kind of did a half of a good job. I made sure, because I really cared about my work, I have plenty of videos where I actually clean it thoroughly, right, making it operational. And so there's a bunch of different things, right? You start to get stressed, right? You start to regret your decision to join the military, right? You get angry, right? And you start to, there's a lot of social factors, right? When you are in the military, sometimes you are stuck with people who are lazy, who don't want to work, who maybe you don't see eye to eye, whether it's your upper chain of command or whether it's the officer levels like the captains, that I don't necessarily see eye to eye. But guess what? You're stuck with it. You have to deal with it. Right? I was stuck with some of the sailors that I worked with for 5 years. They didn't treat me right when I was in A school. They treated me a lot differently when I advanced in rate and rank. When I have a lot of success now, they treat me a lot different. But back then, they treated me like a piece of crap, right? Garbage. They didn't want to do the work. They said, hey, Kim's got it. Right? So I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of regret. I was a lot stressed. Right? And you are going to go through this too while you're in the military. Right? And there's many, many different emotions that it's a roller coaster that goes through, right, while you're in the military. And you may even get depressed, right? There may be anxiety, level of anxiety, right? And the list goes on and on and on, right? There's so many emotions, level of emotions that you go through while you're in the military. But all this points to one thing, right? And this is the make or break point of any sailor, right? And this is something that nobody will explain to you. Nobody will take their time to really understand what this process really is, right? And the Navy's current logo or motto is forged by the sea, right? And guess what? This is absolutely true. This process is you becoming a sailor, a true sailor, right? From the depth, from the recruiter, the boot camp, A school, fleet, toilets, stress, regret, anger, fighting with each other, yelling with each other, crying, sleeping alone at night, whatever the case may be, right? There's a lot of things emotionally that people go through. Sometimes when they don't understand this, right, they go in a very dark place, right? But when you understand this, and like I said, not a lot of people, 99% of the people do not understand this. This is literally what forged by the sea is. And all this can be translated into this one word. This one word is literally going to revolutionize your life. And that one word, guys, is growth. All this process is you becoming the sailor that you've always thought you wanted to be, right? It's you becoming the best version of yourself. Is you seeking, what I could be in a military environment, right? All this is the part of your growth of becoming the person that you set out to become in your military journey, right? But the thing that I want to cover is when you can understand this, right? When you can understand, and not even understand, but harness this. This will literally revolutionize and change your life. When you can understand this pain, that it is a part of your growth, and when you can harness this ability to understand what process you're going through in life, it will literally make you unstoppable, right? And even though that I'm saying this word to you right now, people will still not understand, right? When you are in the process, and I'm reiterating this, when you are in the process, because it's that important, when you are angry, or right now, maybe you're worried financially, right? Or maybe, somebody in your parents or your spouse, your, whoever you argued with them, maybe somebody in your family passed away, or maybe you're about to get fired at your job. Maybe you're working at a hotel and, they're yelling at you. They're saying you suck, whatever the case may be. Understand. That is you growing as a person, right? But don't stay in this emotion. Understand that it is you becoming a better version of yourself through that stress, through that environment. But once you can understand it and harness it and let it motivate you, right? That's when it literally changes the trajectory of your life, right? This process, me understanding it and harnessing it, is what's going to make me a decamillionaire within the next 5 to 10 years. Easy. It's literally the thing that's going to revolutionize my life. It will revolutionize your life if you let it. So, went on long enough. It's like 10 o'clock right now. I'm gonna go to sleep. Talk to you later.